What is going on, guys? Jezzi here with Jezzi, and I'm back with another trade review video. So, today I took my trade on. Okay, actually, so yesterday, I'm not, just because I win trades and I post those doesn't mean I don't take losses. I obviously take losses, so I'm gonna run over that loss today, actually. Um, so I got into put swings yesterday. I was basically just anticipating like a huge double top right at this resistance here. It did. It dropped. I guess there was just some news that came out and it shot the price up. Unfortunate, but that's how it goes sometimes. Technically it looked good, but news and by other factors, it didn't go in the direction that I did want it to go. And, that's okay. That's trading. You're not always going to win every single trade. It's quite literally impossible. So, uh, did take a loss on that. And I did check my phone and saw the red numbers from those put contracts. So, what did I do? And that I don't really count that as a trade for the day because the only time I'm swinging is with profits from the trades that I do take. So I'll set aside a certain percentage and use those for swing trades or earnings. I mean, I obviously still do like care about the money, but like if I lose it, it's not too much of a big deal because I'm using a percentage of my profits, not my initial like capital basis. So, what did start off the day red, but I did recover with SPX, and let me take you through that trade. So, this was the trade right here. This bounce right off of this call pop, basically. So, it wouldn't be impressive if I didn't call it out before it happened. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. 1:10 p.m. Obviously, you can't change that. I'll even close out Discord and reopen it. 1:10 p.m. SPX calls pop here. I draw these lines like to just give you a visual of what I see. So, I took my entry off of this refill of these rejections right here. Again, no bottom wick here as well. That's where I took my entry. Um, I'll get into like kind of why I took the trade and why I had it in mind. But as you can see, entry sent live, 59.20s. Those contracts obviously at $1.25 a pop, which if you don't know what options is, it's $125 per contract. And the thing is, you can buy as many contracts as you want, but you shouldn't. You like buy as many contracts as you can because God forbid you do lose a trade and there goes all your capital, yada yada yada. Yeah, whatever. This is just my trade review, not how to trade options. Stop is 5892.05, so I set it at this resistance here because that is where it initially caught a support and then a resistance, so this is a tough level for it as well. And as you can see on that previous rejection down, that is where it retested right back up from. First trim is 58.96, which would be this high here because that is that second resistance, not this one, because sometimes price doesn't always like to come up to where it previously rejected from. And as you can see, it did come down a little bit, but it did pop up on that candle. And as you can see, sell volume decreasing with these candles with strong bullish signs and weak bearish signs. So this is basically simply just price action. Uh, I knew this was gonna pop here. That's how SPX works. SPX and QQQ, they move the same, but they move differently. If you have a question, just leave it in a comment. I will answer it and make a video on it. So again, just keeps going, keeps popping up here, popping, and on this break, that is where I did take my first trim because it was just pushing really hard. On that break, that's where I took my first trim. As you can see, $1.25. That I took my first trim on $1.90. They're at $2.80 now. So that's $125 per contract to $280 per contract after my trim. So that was only 2 contracts. I mean, it's still a good amount of money if you do the math on it, but the majority of my profit is in that initial trim. Uh, so what I do for, hypothetically, if I'm in 10 contracts, I'll trim 7 or 8, leave the 2 to 3 to run, and I'll trail my stop to above break even. And the thing is with options, especially SPX end of day, the theta is super high, so you gotta set your stops at least 20% above where you filled at, because even if you enter here, price is all the way up here, and it retested down, that time it took for price to get up to here, your now break even is up here. As the time goes on, uh, the later on in the day, the stronger the theta, and the longer it takes for price to get, the longer it takes for price to get to your strike, the less valuable those contracts become. Boom, there you go. So now you know that I did it live. Um, let's do the analysis. So, if we look at the 30-minute here, we can obviously bullish trend the whole entire day. Catches this initial resistance here, big rejection right there, another big rejection right back up. So this is a important level that I'm watching for it. As you can see, comes up, retests back down to this level here, and I'm just looking for a hold above this initial resistance. And as you can see, it did. It came down, but I'm waiting for that retest back up. So if we slowly scale down, we can see this is that spike down. No, my bad. This is that spike down, and then it comes right back up above that level. So if we just filter through these, so it spikes down, and on a new 15-minute candle holds above, unable to break back down below this previous support. As you can see, it's using that previous resistance as a support. Now it's finding the same high, but it's a higher support now. So price is getting basically like pinched up. And it's just building that buy pressure for a SPX calls pop, and that is what I said. So as you can see, scale down to the time frame, scale down time frame. I took my entry on the 5-minute time frame. I set my line on a higher time frame because I set my levels based off of higher time frames. It's just more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more, I just totally blanked. More dependable. Like, I can depend more on higher time frame levels and lower time frame levels. There's the other words that I wanted to use, but I just couldn't find it. So entered on this candle, set my stop to this level right here. As you can see, came down, and next candle opened, unable to break this low here. Very good sign. Pops right back up, breaks above this high, and that is where I take my first trim. Closed the remaining 2 contracts at somewhere around here. They were flying from like 250 to 270 to 280. At their peaks, they were like 310. But I did not catch the full move. That's okay. These literally did like 52% on the first trim, and then over 100. I think it was 122% on my final trim. I did not leave any runners on this trade. I was recovered what I lost from the QQQ trade, the QQQ swing from yesterday, and some on the side. So that was my SPX trade from the day. Obviously sent out live. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. And I hope you learned something new. Have a wonderful day.